The tragedy of September 11 was the key to whatever I'm doing as a ambassador, as somebody who is passionate about helping others and discovering about my own self, who I am, and the strength I have in spite of all the difficulties. And it's not a clean road. It's a difficult road. Intention was so strong that when I saw a video of a child and a mother, and they were speaking Farsi and they were running through the rubbles from Afghanistan to Pakistan for refugees, as a refugee. And I remember the mom started to speak up and said, my husband was killed by Taliban, and we are hungry, we are walking, and we are trying to go somewhere for a safe place. The picture of that child and that mother was stuck in my head, and I thought to myself, I have to do something. And I went to my Rotary Club, and there is a gentleman by the name of Mr. Steve Brown. I wanted to go and work in the refugees camp in border of Pakistan and Afghanistan. And he said, what you have to offer? I said, I speak the language, I'm a nurse, and these are the tools that I can use to help the others. I work as I got a grant from the Rotary International Foundation, and I was on my way in the January of 2002. I traveled to Pakistan, and I was hosted by the Rotarian families over there for 3 months. I worked at the refugees camp. Heartbreaking, heartwarming stories I can share. We built sewer systems. We built the kitchen for the refugees camp. And also I stay overnight with the nurses and the doctors to help for the delivery of the children. And it's very difficult to witness the tragedies of refugees. The outcome was, I find out that lots of these tragedies are going on in third world countries or developing countries, the lack of education. And I said, Mr. Brown, let's go to Afghanistan and build a school. The first thing comes out of his mouth, he said, that's the dumbest idea I ever heard, because there is no system in Afghanistan. There is no banking system, there is no road, there is no phone company, there is nothing. And I said, trust me, we can do it. And by November of 2002, he called me and he said, are you ready? I said, yes, I am. So we traveled from US to Germany, and then from Germany to Pakistan, and then from Pakistan we drove with the Rotarians, drove through the Khyber Pass. I don't know if you know, but the Khyber Pass is built during the Alexander the Great, and it's still the same. It's about like 3,000 elevation, but it goes all the way down to, you have to go drive with a car and then go down to Afghanistan. And then when we arrived, of course, there was no telephone system, there was no internet system, there is no electricity. I stayed in a foundation which were introduced by the US military. I'm extremely grateful to US military because they helped us tremendously in many ways. And we met them in Kabul, the capital of the Afghanistan, and we met with some of the ministries. And when we went back from Kabul through the Kabul, actually the US military introduced us to this foundation. Abdul Haq Foundation. And then we went to back to Jalalabad and met with the governor of that time. The governors are usually powerful, the elders of the community. And we met with him and he said, yes, I'm ready to donate the land. And he donated the land actually to us to build a school in an area which was controlled by the Taliban. So we built the school and it was very successful.